Shalom Yesharala. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the Ofle Akim that's preached the word in all truth and sincerity, along with the Israelite foreigner brothers that are like the heathens. But the line of outside goes back to the nation of Israel, which the nation of Israel, a so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, through the prophecies and curses of Deuteronomy 28 chapter and throughout the Bible. So this is your brother Yakar Amap the lesson, and today's lesson will be entitled Examples of the Lord Hiding His Prophets in the Day of Judgment. You know, that's going to go on some precepts and Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters out there be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemon Shai. Because reason why I'm going to the lesson is because very soon, all hell's gonna break loose in America, which is Jacob's trouble according to the scriptures, and the Lord is gonna be looking out for his elect, man, and just want to go into some accounts on in the past on how the Lord hid his prophets in the day of judgment, you see, and the Lord is gonna be preserving his elect, from not tasting death, in these times, same as he did with our righteous forefathers in the past, you know. And so I just want to go into it. And I also want to say, too, it is written that, some of the elect, according to Revelation 24, will have to be beheaded and not receiving the MOTB, the Karagman, but they're going to be raised up first in the chariots and their works are going to follow them, but for the most part, the elect will be delivered, and preserved from the said perils, you see. But in this lesson, I'm going to be going to how the Lord can hide his prophets in a day of judgment. His righteous prophets, of course. You know. So I'm going to start off in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 3. And it reads, Seek ye the Lord Yahweh, all you meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. Yeah, so this is the conduct of how the righteous prophets is supposed to be in these last days. Seeking the Lord, Yahweh Shemon Shai, in all truth and sincerity, and being meek, you know. Meek meaning being humble, you see. Seeking out the righteousness, following the laws and commandments to the best of our ability, rehearsing the righteous acts, keeping the high holy days, going out on the highways and byways week in, week out, preaching the word, making our daily sit downs, praying and fasting, charity. It says, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. That's right, man. Because we want to be hid in that day of Jacob's trouble when all hell break loose, man. Of course, we know the Lord's going to try us, but the Lord's not going to put more on us that we can't handle. And ultimately, the Lord's going to grant the hedge of protection on his elect, you see. And that word hid is from the Hebrew word satar, which means to hide, conceal, be hidden, to hide carefully, you know. And we're going to go into an example of that, of the prophet Elijah. He was one of the greatest prophets that ever lived. Elijah the prophet, man. Which his name in the Hebrew. Just look it up real quick. And it says right here, Elijah predicts drought. No, he prophesied of the drought. You know, because a lot of scholars always will use that term predict. The prophet predicted. The prophet prophesied. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemon Shai. But Elijah is from the Hebrew word alayah, which means my God. It says right here, my God is Yahweh, but it really means my God. Allah means God, and Yah, as a suffix in the Hebrew, will be me or my. So it means my God. You see. So let's go ahead and read the first verse. 1 Kings 17:1. And Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, saying to Ahab, As Yahweh God of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. So it wasn't going to be no dew or rain for 3.5 years. Because um, I'm gonna get to prove that this happened 3.5 years, but it's gonna keep reading down. It says, And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto him, saying, Get thee hence and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook Cherith that is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou should drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. So he went and did according to the word of the Lord Yahweh. For he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook, man. So the Lord, hid Elijah from this famine, because the famine is a great judgment, man. You know, it says, And it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up, because there had not been no rain in the land. You know, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto him, saying, Arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. So not only did the Lord look out for Elijah with food and water and hiding him, you know, because remember King Ahab, and his wife Jezebel, it was great persecution at that time against the righteous prophets. They was killing all the righteous prophets, man. And Elijah felt that, he was the only prophet left, the only righteous prophet left, because there was no other righteous prophets. But the Lord said, you know, He will always have an elect. You see, and brothers can read the rest, but I just want to get to the point. But when you go to 1 Kings 18 and 1, it says, And it came to pass after many days that the word of Yahweh came to Elijah in the third year. So this is 3 years, 3.5 years of famine, saying, Go show thyself unto Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth. So imagine that, man. You know, for 3.5 years there was a famine. And the Lord told Elijah to go up to Ahab, King Ahab, which he was a wicked king, northern kingdom of Israel. And Elijah went to show himself unto Ahab, and there was a sore famine in Samaria, meaning a severe famine. And I just wanted to get this to prove that it was 3.5 years, because right here it says 3 years, the third year. But this is Yahweh Shai referencing that account. But Luke 4 and 25, but I tell you of a truth, many widows were in Israel in the days of Elias, which Elias is a Greek word saying Elijah, when the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months. So, it was 3.5 years when great famine was throughout all the land. So for 3.5 years there was a great famine in Samaria, you know. But unto none of them was Elias sent, save, which save is a Greek word which means except unto Sarepta, a city of Sidon, unto a woman that was a widow. That's right. And we just, read that. You know? So during this time it was 3.5 years of famine, and the Lord hid his prophet Elijah to make sure he ate and drank, you know. But going back to 1 Kings 18 and 3, and Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. Now Obadiah feared Yahweh greatly. For it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord Yahweh, meaning, killed the prophets, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in the cave and fed them with bread and water. So this is also another example of the Lord can hide his prophets or preserve his prophets from judgment, you know. Because this Obadiah is not talking about, the Obadiah that wrote, that author of the book of Obadiah in the Old Testament. Just because, we all had common names, the same names, so uh, oftentimes you will hear, men in the scriptures with the same name. There was two totally different people, had the same name but two two different people, you know. So this is another example of the Lord hiding his prophets in the day of judgment. You see, and the Lord's gonna be doing that in these times, man. You know, even though the Lord's gonna try his elect or their faith and their integrity, you know, but the Lord know they're gonna pass. You see, it's just a trial of their faith. You see, so I'll go ahead and read Zephaniah 2 and 3 again. It says, "Seek ye the Lord." Zephaniah 2 and 3. Seek ye the Lord Yahweh, all you meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yahweh's anger. That's right, man. You know, and let's see if there's any cross references. See, yeah. So that was pretty much it. I can just want to make a quick lesson on that. I don't want to make it too long, but you know, Lord willing, I was edified. You know, and until next time, shalom.